Welcome to FreshMaya.com. My name is Eric, and I'm going to show you a cool little trick. It's a feature in Maya that probably most people are not aware of, but it's very useful. I'm just going to create a polygon cylinder here. Let's scale that up a little bit. Let's create a polygon cone. I'm just making an arrow, just a simple arrow. I'm going to select both of those, mesh, combine. Alright, there's our arrow. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this a little bit in the X, or around the X axis and a little bit around the Z axis, just so it's not lined up with our world. I'm going to modify freeze transformations. Now let's say that later on in our project we wanted to move this arrow, but we didn't want to move it up, and we didn't want to move it along the Z or the X axis of the world. Let's say we wanted to move it in the direction that the arrow is pointing. Right now we'd have a hard time doing that. We could just kind of line up here as best we could and then grab the middle box and move it that way. But as you can see, it's pretty difficult to do. There is a better method to do it. I'm going to create a polygon cube, and we could use a construction plane or anything. Now before I do that, let me just say I'm going to go back to my arrow. Let's go to Modify, Transformation Tools, Move Tool, Options box. Most people, the first thing they do, they'll go in their Move settings, and then they'll start going through all these. Object, that doesn't help any. Local, that doesn't help any. Normal, doesn't help any. Normal's average, doesn't help any. World, that doesn't help any. Along rotation axis, doesn't help any. It's just not changing the direction that our manipulator handle is pointing. And just in case you're not aware, in case you don't know, there's between object and local. Object is going by the orientation of your object. World, of course, is going by the orientation of the world itself. Local is going by the orientation of any objects that this arrow would be parented to. So if this arrow was parented to this little cube down here, then this local would go by the orientation of this cube. Okay, I've got my arrows selected. All I'm going to do is I'm going to select this cube, modify, snap together. I'm just going to click on any of the faces on this cube, and I'm just going to click the bottom of this arrow, or I click the side, or I click the bottom of this top part of the arrow. Just anything that's going to line this cube up with the direction of our arrow. Now with the cube selected, I'm going to go to my shelf, and I'm going to click on this little icon up here with the red horseshoe looking magnet. And what that's going to do is going to make that cube live. Now because that cube is live, I'm going to select my arrow. Now if you look at our manipulator handle, it's still lined up with the world coordinate system. But over here in the move settings, there's an option called a long live object axis. So I'm going to select that, and now if you look at our manipulator, it's lined up with our cube because our cube is live. And now we can move our arrow in the direction that we were wanting to. So if you're ever wanting to move an object or anything like that in a direction that your manipulator handles aren't going, you could use this custom orientation right here. Or a simpler way is just go to create, and you can create a construction plane, or you can just create another object, line it up the direction that you want to move your object in, and then make that construction plane or object, whatever you created, make it live, and then now you can move your object direction that you want. And that concludes this tutorial. Thanks for watching.